me.
That's nice. If I remember correctly, those were your wedding vows.
Me, it's all about me. Me. This day's about me. Yep, that's about it.
Welcome to the No Budget Filmmaking Podcast, presented by Cinema Summit, a podcast about the art of making films, no matter how small the budget. And now, here are your hosts, Alex Dark and Trevor L. Nelson.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. This is episode 40, the big 4-0 of the No Budget Filmmaking Podcast. I'm Trevor L. Nelson.
And I'm Alex Dark, and today we're talking about YouTube.
Not paid for in any way by Google, but it should be.
Yeah.
Hey.
But first, Trevor.
Yes.
What in the world are we drinking today?
Well, we are on that Miller Lite kick.
I know we only have a few left.
We only have a few left, and we're going to have to...
A few?
Yeah.
I don't know. How many do we have left? Probably like three?
Three? Yeah, I think three. We love that corn syrup, as Bud Light would make us believe.
Yeah.
Just fantastic. But it's delicious.
It is.
I'm just going to say this right now, and screw you, Zeph, but it is still chilly out in L.A. It's not raining
real cold.
anymore.
It's not even chilly. It's cold.
I woke up this morning super early. Earlier
How
than I should
early
have.
is super early?
5:50 in the morning.
Okay.
Is that early for you?
No.
What?
That's normal.
Okay. Well,
I guess early would be like 3 a.m.
That's just not going to bed. And it was 42 degrees when I walked the dogs this morning.
Yeah, I woke up and it was at the same time, and it was 40.
Oh, the one time
Big
I'm
40.
so happy I'm not near the ocean for that.
I'm noticing
2
that
degrees increase.
There's a dew on my window.
You're gonna say, dude. There's a dude on my window. It's like, is your window very warm?
No,
a slight mist that has fallen on your.
So every time I look out when I wake up, first I'm like, wow, it's foggy out. Oh wait, no, it's just dew.
It's just a dude. It's just a dude.
Dew, Mountain Dew.
Ow. So yes, we are drinking Miller Lite. It's cold in here, so you may hear a buzzing in the background. That is our little fake fireplace. I think we talked about before.
We talked about it before, and it makes a little bit of noise, and it doesn't really heat up the room much because it's a big room.
Yeah, it's a little,
and it's a tiny little heater.
It's a little baby heater.
My mom informed me about the dangers of space heaters today.
Why did she decide to do that?
Well, I was telling her how cold it is in here.
She laughed in Denver.
Yeah, she laughed, as it's -5.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, do you have a space heater? And I said, yeah, kind of. She said, those are dangerous, right?
Well, yes, if you leave them on when you fall asleep.
It's true. It is true.
But
I tried to convince her that ours barely heats up, just like a 3-foot radius around it, so I don't know.
And then she was like, that's even worse.
Yeah,
it's holding all that. Yeah, it's holding all that heat in there, and it's going to explode in your face.
It may.
Oh man, Funbot hates us even more now.
I know he does.
Screw you, Funbot.
This is film related.
Yeah, this is film related because it's about surviving in our film studio.
Exactly.
Yay, nailed it.
It's always film related.
Always film related. So what's new with us? We have another. Maybe somebody decided that Funbot couldn't have all the fun.
Yeah.
And we got a new review, 5-star review from the real Morgasmo, and he speaks to himself in third person. So thank you,
I'm a big
Morgan.
fan of the real Morgasmo.
Yes, that is a great name.
So many ways.
Fantastic.
Shall we read the review?
Go ahead. You know what? Let's piss some more people off.
He says, truth and experience with a spark.
Ooh.
5 stars.
Yeah.
Morgan enjoys the podcast for the informative nature of the adventure had by this dynamic duo.
Dynamic duo. We should host the Oscars. Go ahead.
Morgan enjoys beer and the likes.
Wow.
Morgan learns about film and beer in one place.
Yes.
Morgan enjoys the No Budget Filmmaking Podcast.
Yes.
Thank you both for the insane content. Thank you, Morgan.
Morgan, Trevor, and Alex like your review and like you.
Yes, they do.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. So we got another 5-star review. Keep going back there and reviewing, guys. Let's battle those 1 stars that we've gotten somehow.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Fun
We're
bot.
just so enjoyable and entertaining.
Yeah,
we also are finishing up. Actually, no, not finishing up. We did finish up a proposal for a big project that is kind of in the same vein of what we've done in the past for USC. That will be nice. Get a little cash to buy some more equipment.
Yep, that will be
That's
nice.
what it always goes to.
That is what it always
That
goes to.
always goes to. But
My God, if
hey,
we just saved a little bit of it, if only.
a little bit. If we just saved like half of it, we would be funding a
Doing
movie
all
right
right.
now. Yeah,
Doing all right.
but we sent that off, so we'll see what they say.
Yep. And we have another business plan that we're working on.
Have we talked about this?
I don't think we have.
Yes, we did. We last week talked about the 5 movie ideas for our package. Remember, we made fun of the word package.
Yeah, package.
Screw you, fun bot.
Yeah, so basically it's for a film fund.
Yep.
And we are finishing up a business plan / proposal for said film fund.
Yep.
I'm going to send it off to some peeps to probably proofread and review and see if there's anything missing and or stupid extra stuff that shouldn't be in there.
Yeah, if there's
that is. And then
if you guys are ever wanting to make sure that you don't say stupid stuff and want to make sure you're called out for stupid stuff or grammatical and spelling errors, get married. Because they will read it and bash you down in the name of building you up out of love.
yeah, they will.
Yeah. So no, my wife will probably look it over. She's a grammar and spelling Nazi. So
Yes.
so we're going to do that to get that together. We have one specific person we're going to send it to, but other than that, we have a lot of people that we're going to reach out to and see if they want to invest in the fund of fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
I apologize, guys. Sorry. So that's what we've been working on. We have our 5 movie ideas that we're adding in. Those ideas keep switching around as we get more, in tune with what we want to do with it. But we're writing the outlines on 2 of them right now, and depending on what happens with the other 3, we may be writing the movie outlines, or we may be pulling movie outlines for other people. We'll figure it out. I don't know. Don't worry about us, guys. We got this.
Yeah, don't worry.
So on to the main topic: YouTube. Everyone loves YouTube, right?
No, not
No,
everyone.
what? But it's so free and easy.
Yeah. I mean, some people do.
Yeah,
I mean, perhaps like 1 billion. I don't know, so 1 billion or 2, something like that.
I would say 8 billion, probably more than. I'm just gonna go more than are alive in the world today love YouTube.
Yeah, probably.
Nailed it.
Did you say 8 billion?
Yeah,
Yeah, probably.
yeah.
It's close, something like that. Counting for some dogs that watch it.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. So yes, we are. I mean, I'm a big fan of YouTube. I could waste hours on YouTube.
Sure.
There's there's some very entertaining things, very informative things. There's also a lot of steaming poop on YouTube.
Sure. I'd say I tend to turn to YouTube specifically for informational content.
Yep, I will do that.
And then every once in a while I'll get distracted by what could be called entertainment, but I wouldn't say falls in line with like filmmaking and films or like narrative stuff. It's more just like stupid people doing stupid things, or like, wow, watch this guy dunk a soccer ball into a trash can.
I actually found myself, I sent a link to Alex. There's a movie coming out called I Am Mother. Looks awesome. We haven't seen a trailer. We saw some footage, and it's a robot sci-fi movie. And the robot looks freaking awesome. And that sent me down a YouTube hole of Adam Savage. Who was on Mythbusters. He has a new channel, Tested, and that was actually who were revealing the robot and the actor who's in the robot suit. And I just, kept clicking, like, suggested, here's up next and all that, and just stayed up way too late watching that kind of stuff because I love. Me and Alex are building out a little workshop where we can build things like that, and I love it. I love that stuff. Very cool.
By building out a little workshop, what Trevor actually means is we have a pile of tools and equipment, literally piled in a room, and we are.
Yeah, Alex works in film sales and obviously doesn't understand what marketing is. because as somebody who was marketing the workshop, we have a workshop where we can build things. Yeah. Now, if you want to go to the
true. We have a workshop where we could build things because technically it's a room filled with tools that we could use. It's just not. It's not set up or even in the process of being set up.
I'm firing you as our marketing and PR person. You suck.
Yeah. So but that's true. We do have a lot of tools, and the goal and dream one day to have a workshop.
Yep.
With cool things. And making stuff.
Yeah. So YouTube is kind of. Oh man, would you say a great tool for filmmakers or a good tool for filmmakers?
I personally would say, in what way do you mean? Like for learning film?
No, I don't think we're even thinking about. We're thinking about it as a way of like getting your stuff out there.
Right, I would say like hosting your video, hosting your movies, and then like promoting them.
Yeah, I'd give books to people and all that.
I would say it is barely a tool for filmmakers.
That's not where I saw that going, but okay.
Only because, well, it's free for people, right?
Yeah.
The way to monetize it is through ads, which isn't, you're not going to make probably like the budget of a movie back or anything on the ad revenue from YouTube.
So let's start off with, we'll come to a conclusion on if YouTube's good or bad.
Oh yeah, at the end.
At the end. So let's start with the benefits. In summation.
At first.
And we're done. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Let's start off with the positives, the benefits of using YouTube.
Yeah, what are the bennies?
The bennies. It's all about the Benjamins, bye. It's obviously the number one video site in the world.
That's true.
It's like, it's synonymous with like, hey, did you see that video? And most people say, oh, on YouTube?
Right.
I mean, if you say, oh, on Facebook, I'll say, no, you're stupid, not on Facebook. Why would anybody put anything of value on Facebook?
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's kind of the go-to, like, even if it's like, hey, man, did you check out my trailer? People will say, oh, on YouTube? Because it's just kind of become the brand. It's kind of like Kleenex.
It is.
Kleenex of tissue paper. YouTube is the YouTube of video sites.
Yeah. So in that way, there's a large awareness of it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So if you were to have a video that you wanted people to see and you were like, hey, watch my video, it would be easy for them to assume that they could just go on YouTube and Google or like search for you and find it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a plus.
Big plus. You already mentioned it. It's free.
It's free. That is also a big plus.
Huge plus.
There's big reach in that lots of people are already on it and therefore could potentially find you accidentally.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that actually in the What's Cool because they just rolled out something new that YouTube's doing about that. People could reach you and find you a little bit easier now. It's a little bit easier now, yeah. So yeah, and like we said, it's familiar. People know YouTube. People know how to navigate YouTube. It works great on mobile devices. Yeah. The app is great, but also at the same time, you could just do the mobile website on your phone. Phone screens are great now, so I would never feel bad about somebody watching a trailer of ours or a video of ours on their Note 9. It's a crisp screen, 1080, works great. That way you can also always, pull up your trailer or your, sizzle reel on your phone to show somebody if you're talking about what's on there. And it's easily accessible.
Yeah. It is embeddable, which is nice. I mean, if you have a website or something, you can put it up on YouTube and then embed it on your own site. Which, has its pros and cons.
Yeah, I mean, it will splash the YouTube watermark over it when it's paused or stopped.
And it will have the recommended stuff at the end.
Yep. And that comes with it. That's how they give it to you for free because they want to make ad revenue. So they will point your viewers to whatever has ads on it. that they think is popular. The biggest thing that I think that has come out in YouTube in the last 5-10 years, I think would be the YouTube spaces and the workshops.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, because you kind of, one, you have to be in the right city that has a YouTube YouTube space.
Yeah.
I don't
they have
know
them all over the world.
Yeah, let's see. Let me just double check here.
They have one in Los Angeles. They have one in New York.
Yeah.
They have one in Tokyo.
Okay.
In London.
London, England. We got Berlin, Dubai, London, Los Angeles, Mumbai, New York, Paris, Rio, Tokyo, Toronto, and that's it.
Nice.
So that's pretty good. That's a pretty good spread out. In the U.S., it's not very spread out. I mean,
it's very spread out.
But I mean, I guess I would say
coast to coast, as one would say.
I guess, yes, you're right. But I would say it's like, I would expect there to be a couple more in the U.S. You know, you got Los Angeles and New York. I would expect to see like a Chicago or hell, in Atlanta, or maybe something in the South.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they pop up.
Yeah,
sometime. Maybe
Austin would be a good one. YouTube, if you're listening. The entity known as YouTube, if you're listening.
I don't quite understand their reasoning behind it. I mean, I know it's like, why put it in LA and New York? Because it's for YouTube creators, and I would say probably like most of the YouTube-y like big people that they're trying to support aren't necessarily in those areas. They're all over the place.
Yeah, I think YouTube is trying to get into, I think also with their YouTube Red, where they're trying to create like their own shows and everything like that, and they wanted to use their own space. That was probably one of the reasons, because it was like, you know, most of the people who are not just doing like videos of them sitting at a desk talking in front of a wall with a bunch of pictures behind them and want to do narrative or bigger production things need the space to do it, and we want them to be on YouTube Red. I think that has one thing to do with it.
Although, that's not really what they do.
I mean, you could do all your production stuff there.
No,
you can't.
I mean,
they have the sound stages.
If you're talking about like narrative stuff, like no, not really, because it's sound stages. It's like green screen stuff. It's like in front of a psych or something.
I haven't been to one in a while. They don't have any standing sets, do they?
No, but what they do is they have. Well, this was a little while ago. I don't know if they do this anymore or if they.
Ever since we got our studio, we haven't even needed.
But they used to put on like events for people of specific specific types of creators, like people that do comedy, right? And so they'll bring in a bunch of comedy creators, and during that period, they will have built a set for some type of theme that they're doing, and those creators will get to use that set. But other than that, it's not. There's nothing there. They have like virtual sets you can use, I guess, for like talk showy type things, and then they have the green screens, and then just like empty rooms, and that's pretty much it. And you're not allowed. They do have equipment that you can check out to shoot that stuff, but you can't. You can't leave the premises with it. So it's not like you could shoot, something out at your place with their gear.
I am looking at some of their advertisement, I guess you could say, just their webpage.
Yeah.
It does look they have some rigging. They have like a guy hooked up to a vest with a cable and like flying him through a space. So I mean, they have some things. I mean, and that's perfect like YouTube video.
They have stuff. I think if you were like a top YouTuber and came to them and was like, I want to build a set in your studio, they'd probably be like, all right.
Yeah, cool.
But if you're the type of guy that has like 10,000 subscribers,
what's the limit you need? What is it?
It used to be 10,000, and then I think maybe it got bumped up.
No, 10,000. No strikes on their channel.
Yeah, but that's limited use of the space, and then it goes up in tiers based on like what you can get. And do there. But then,
I mean, you used it for some high speed camera work, just to do, which really it was nothing.
And that was really only because they just happened to have a Phantom.
I know. It's a lucky ass. God.
I don't know why they had it. They just did. They were like, oh, we got one for the next 2 days. And I was like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah, and that was also like one of those things where it was like you were doing a video that really had nothing. Like it was just hey, we have a channel, and let's throw this video of slow motion stuff in it.
Yep, exactly. I mean, because they said that they had it and we could use it.
Yeah.
But it was kind of a video about. We made a couple videos about the YouTube space itself and like the trip to the YouTube space. So it kind of fit in that way.
Yeah, I mean it's a definitely, especially for people who are just kind of, again, shooting in their parents' basement, shooting in their bedroom. It does give you a little bit more freedom to kind of expand your production a little bit. Better cameras.
Yeah. I think generally speaking, it's like kind of a novelty thing. Like, no, I don't think anyone really goes there and shoots on the rigs, you know, like shoots their stuff all the time.
I don't know. I mean, that's a good question because they have a lot of money put in those things.
Yeah, but I mean, think about if they just had like 12 filmmakers or creators like using that space on the regular, like they'd be booked up all the time.
That's true. Why wouldn't they? Why don't they get booked up all the time? I mean, it's like,
I'm sure they do, but I just think it's like there's so many YouTubers out there.
Yeah.
That I think, you know, people come and go, and like people come from out of town and go in and use it for a couple days and then leave. You know, I'm just saying, like, I don't think anyone has their show based out of there.
No, definitely not that. But if you want to expand your, you know, base and then like go off of again from your parents' bedroom is what I'm basement is what I'm just assuming. But they also, it seems like they have a lot of events there and they like do. Workshops. So that might be just an area where it's like, hey, guess what? We just want our own spot where we can do YouTube-y stuff.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool. And that, again, that you have to have 10,000 subscribers to start, but if you have that many, you may be able to build up the number of subscribers you have by just doing a couple bigger videos at the YouTube space.
And I think one of the cool things that they offer, and one of the benefits of YouTube, sort of, I guess, depending what you think, is that they do offer workshops and sort of training on how to use it to the best of your ability. So if you want to learn about how to post things properly and use tags and descriptions and all that, you can go in, take a free workshop, talk to them about it, and they'll tell you, you know, sort of like the best practices for that kind of stuff. Yeah. Which is cool, I think.
No, definitely. And I mean, what camera? I think they have Reds there, don't they?
They do, yeah.
Yeah. So
and Canons. They have the Canon C300s and stuff.
Mark II?
I don't know. I think that came out when I was there last time.
I'm sure they would have it now, though. So I mean, those are definitely cool spots to check out, especially if you have enough people on subscribers on YouTube on your channel. Just go check out the YouTube space. You can go get a little tour. It's definitely something that's handy to keep in your back pocket for productions for your, your YouTube channel. Another thing that is great about YouTube is just as YouTube is the YouTube of video, Google is the Google of search engines. And because Google owns YouTube, if somebody's searching for something kind of related to your video in Google, you may pop up in the search results right inside Google. And that is very helpful because everyone uses Google to search. Screw you, Bing.
Yahoo.
Woo! Yeah. So, I mean, it definitely is another opportunity for somebody to find your video. If they're looking for something that's somewhat related to yours and the bar that says video, your video pops up fourth, they might be like, wait a second, this looks kind of interesting. I'll check it out.
Yeah. But again, I think that really, like, the benefit of that is pretty specific to, like, instructional stuff, you know, because it's like, if you're talking about a movie.
Yeah.
And you're like Googling the title of the movie, like they'll probably find your movie.
Yeah, but I will say, having taken over Larry's YouTube page, there are times when I'm searching for an actor, and Larry's YouTube interview with them pops up.
Sure.
So,
yes,
that is helpful. And granted, most filmmakers are not going to have interviews with famous celebrities, but just to say that, you have somebody who is a name in your little short, you never know when that may pop up.
Yes, there's that. But I think the real benefit of that comes down to like people searching for, how do I unclog my toilet? And then your video comes up that shows them how to unclog their toilet.
Hey, if you guys want to make those instructional videos, more power to you.
Yeah. So I mean, that's like the real deal, because I mean, you can't necessarily you can't rely on the fact that because you have a poster of Javier Bardem in your short film that it's going to pop up because someone types Javier Bardem in Google. You know,
unless the title of your video of your short is "Where's Javier Bardem?"
Yeah,
then it may pop up.
Even that probably won't. Just because Google is smart.
That's true. Well, too smart for its own good.
Yeah.
But it does. I have noticed that some videos that we have done for Larry do pop up if you type in certain people. So every once in a while it could happen. You know what? It may just happen.
I mean, I think if you're talking about like convenience, I think that's a big benefit where it's like you're typing in Google like Trevor's awesome movie trailer, and then
that's what I'd call it.
Trevor's awesome movie trailer comes up on.
Yeah, but most people just go to YouTube.
Well, but if they don't, you know.
Yeah.
It's like that's a convenience element where it's like, oh, here's the video. I can just click on it instead of going to like a web page that may or may not have a video on it.
And then once they integrate Rotten Tomatoes and everyone gives Trevor's awesome movie trailer 2% tomato,
2%
then we're screwed.
Yep.
And then I was going to say that I thought I saved it for the what's cool part, but there is a new program they're doing. It's called On the Rise. So they have the On the Rise program where up-and-comers get space on YouTube's trending page. But now they're having an up-and-comer On the Rise like section of YouTube. And it's for people that they feel are interesting but have fewer than 10,000 subscribers. So it's the people can't use the YouTube space, but they want to kind of push them a little bit. Yeah. Give them a little area that they could be discovered in, as they say.
Yeah, and I would say perhaps that's a benefit. Again, I don't really know why it would be.
Why are you doing this podcast on YouTube?
Just because it's like, you know, all of this stuff is great if you want to be a YouTuber. But is it great for promoting a film? I don't know. Because,
it's tough.
Because if you're promoting a film on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the traditional way, like you're not making a vlog about it. You're just posting up the trailer.
Yeah.
You're not creating enough content for YouTube to deem you interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you're not playing into what they want, which is constant contact and interaction with subscribers. You're just putting it up there to your vacant subscriber list and using it as like a promotional tool, which is exactly what they don't necessarily want on YouTube.
That's true. Granted, their trailers get millions of views on YouTube, but that's for companies
for channels that
are making
making
movies,
promoting trailers.
Yep.
That's not for an individual who has created a single movie and has a single movie trailer.
But we are forgetting about the people who are. We're talking about film. Like we're specifically talking about filmmakers right now. But you got to remember, there's some people who want to make web series, and YouTube is a great spot for that because you are constantly updating it with episodes, and a lot of people get their start on web series and making webisodes where they are a little more cinematic. You know, that was that. What was that thing that Rocky was in? Was it called The Resistance or something? Remember I showed you the trailer for it. It was a long time ago. It was kind of like it was like all the super slow motion.
Replication. Regeneration.
Nailed it. Oh my God, that's it. Regeneration. Yeah. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember it.
It was a very well done, high quality web series that they were going to do on YouTube. And I think maybe their investors realize that they can't make that much money back on YouTube that would pay for that.
Yes.
But
I think there's a lot of questions and debate that go into this idea because technically I think if we're actually like looking into it and perhaps like honest about it, it's like YouTube is not really the best place for that because it's just not.
The compression sucks.
The algorithm and everything is not geared towards like a 10-episode series or something. You know, it's like it's you're definitely going to get beaten by people who are dunking soccer balls into trash cans all day long.
Wow, that's very specific. What have you been watching on YouTube? And also, I think a lot of people don't tend to watch longer stuff on YouTube.
Right. And I don't know. It's just like, to me, having worked at a YouTube company,
Hey.
they were
asshole.
always talking about downplaying the quality, you know? Like
That's true.
They don't want it to be cinematic because they want it to feel like the viewer could do it. Like, you know, they want it to seem like the viewer is part of it.
Oh.
You know, or like it's just like a guy doing it in his garage. And like it's the story of like hope and whatnot, because it's like the viewer is like, oh man, maybe I could start a web series or something.
And I think that's what they were trying to do with YouTube Red, was give more cinematic stuff where people would pay for it, and all of a sudden they were like, wait, people don't want to pay for this because on YouTube they're used to it being free, because they've scrapped YouTube Red. They said all their content on their site now is going to be free.
Yeah.
And
Also, I mean, I tried watching Cobra Kai on YouTube, right?
Uh-huh.
It's weird. I don't know. I don't personally think it's the right, because.
But see, this is the thing, because if you go on the Roku, right, there's an app for YouTube.
Yes, it's a disaster.
Yes, that's true. It if they made the app better, it wouldn't be weird to then go like the HBO app could, you know, it could look like the HBO app.
Here's the difference.
Yeah.
The HBO app has, I don't know, let's say 120 titles. Mm-hmm. The YouTube app has like 1 billion titles. And you have to sort through guys dunking soccer balls into trash cans all day long.
You're obsessed with that analogy. Okay, so here's my question. Do you think that YouTube may not be a great place to be discovered? If you're hoping that you could throw stuff on YouTube and then somebody discovers you, but a great place to maybe host things at that you push people towards because it is free?
I think YouTube is a great place to build an audience, more so than any other, or like a fan base, or like try to connect with a community of people. Because,
but what are you putting up to connect with them?
Not cinematic stuff. I think like vlog type stuff, or like
talking like we should put this. Why anybody would want to see us talking, but
yeah, exactly. Like just talk, you know, like you build an audience around yourself, because that's what YouTube's about. It's like personal brands and whatnot. And like, if you wanted to build yourself as like a filmmaker brand, then maybe YouTube would be the place to go. But I don't think if you. That being said, I don't think that there's specifically a better place, like a winner. That's like, if you have a web series, like there's no place that's like, oh man, that's way better than YouTube.
Yeah, because
there's better viewing experiences, in my opinion.
Yeah,
there's more targeted places that are like geared towards web series specifically, or like independent film specifically. Mm-hmm. But is it better? I don't know.
I think you honestly cannot just hope that any platform you put your video on, that it's going to lead to you being discovered by somebody without any marketing or any press or any advertisements in any way, shape, or form, even if it's YouTube or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, have you ever rented a movie on YouTube?
Never. Not once.
No, me either. Now.
Maybe we're old.
Oh, don't say that. Yeah, if you guys have rented movies on YouTube, let us know in the comments, because
I've rented movies on Google.
Yeah.
Google Play all the time.
Absolutely, me too. And Amazon.
Amazon.
But YouTube, to me, like you said, it's kind of this weird thing. It's almost like YouTube touts it as the way to get discovered as a filmmaker, but nobody thinks of it like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
because to be honest, like the way I look at it, right? If you're going to be discovered as a filmmaker, it's almost like platform agnostic, because what's actually happening, like it may seem like to someone, oh, you put it up on YouTube and then you got recognized, but what's actually happening is you put it up somewhere. Yeah. And a guy at like no film school finds it.
There you go. Okay.
And is like, oh, this is really cool.
That's
and then
dude on your windshield finds it.
Posts it up on like a huge blog, and then it gets circulated to other blogs. But it doesn't really matter that it's on YouTube or any place else, because it's actually being embedded in these blogs and news outlets, like places. So in that way, I think it doesn't really matter. And also, when it comes to like films and stuff being discovered, I think probably Vimeo has more clout. I mean, they have the Vimeo staff picks, which are actually kind of like notable. I think if you're a filmmaker and you got your film as a Vimeo staff pick, I think that could potentially be more exciting to someone in the industry than, oh, my film got 100,000 views.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's true for everything. There's like success stories on every platform. So I don't know if it is platform specific, because Vimeo had High Maintenance that then became a series on HBO.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Broad City started on YouTube as a web series.
Yeah.
There's tons of, I think Issa Rae started doing something on YouTube that then became Insecure. There was we had somebody on Larry who did like teachers, or it was like a teacher. It was about teachers. It was like the raunchy side of teachers, and they started on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
but that was,
So I think there are some success stories, and I think that's what people hold on to is like, oh, all these started as web series on YouTube, but it's not because they were on YouTube. It's because they were well done, and they got attention through like write-ups and...
Yeah, and I think if you look at short films, I would imagine that more attention was given to short films on Vimeo than on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Who knows? I mean, I'm sure there's exceptions to both.
I mean, yeah, there absolutely has to be, because, like, again, like, there are people who have done very well on YouTube outside of, like, watch me play video games and watch me yell racist stuff like PewDiePie. Or things like, Pewdie. Oh, Pewdie. But, I mean, yeah, I guess, like, we could get into the negatives of YouTube. We've been talking about it pretty handily, but, I mean... A side note is that you have to play by their rules. And that's true with everything. That's true of Vimeo and all that. But YouTube is also trying to brand itself as family friendly. So you can't kind of do anything you want on YouTube.
Yeah, you're limited
in
that way. And also, because it is such a big global brand and community, they have to constantly sort of shift and change their terms of service and even just how it works. Like, they started rolling out that new back end, like the Creator Studio or whatever.
Yeah.
And they give you the option of doing like the new Creator Studio or using the classic. And it's like, well, I hate the new one. So I revert to the classic, but eventually they're going to get rid of the classic.
I get that message every day. And it's definitely something that, like, for services that charge a monthly premium for their services, they don't really have to worry about, like, changing drastically because they're getting their money from members. So they just have to keep the members happy.
Right.
Something like YouTube, they have to change things around so that they get better ad revenue because that's the only way they get paid. So they'll change if they... This is exactly what YouTube will do. If they find tomorrow that one thing they've been doing, if they change it drastically for the creators, but it makes them 20% more profit, they will do it.
Absolutely.
And they won't give you any warning. And if that hurts your personal profit because you're maybe not as big as the other guys, they don't care. Because they have to make a profit, and the only way they make profit is through ads.
And in much in the same way, they have... sort of like this automated copyright claims thing going on, right? That will sort of flag your video if it thinks it has certain stuff in it. But if it's mistaken, it can be difficult to remedy it sometimes.
Now, this is not... No, this was. This is a story... this just boggles my... This is like... When people ask me what I think about YouTube, this is the story I always turn to. Larry's channel got hit with a copy, like a takedown notice from YouTube. Mm-hmm. Because I don't know if the artist himself put a copyright notice in or if they're just the automated algorithm found it. An artist it said that Larry was using snippets from an artist's song in the episode.
Right.
Very strange because we create our own content. But what had happened is this artist had taken sound clips from Larry's episodes, put it into like a mixed DJ EDM song, and YouTube matched that and said, "Oh, you stole from him." It's like, are you kidding me? Like
he stole from us.
The reason it's matching is because he took that soundbite from that episode and put it in his song. Now, again, I don't know if that DJ was trying to be a dick and like, look what I'll do. Like, I'll get him to take it down. Or if it's just, he just put it in there, put it up on SoundCloud or something, and the YouTube algorithm just found it.
Yeah.
And then they don't care. They will strike you down and be like, look at what you're doing. Because they're so afraid of losing money.
Yeah. And, there's a lot of different stuff that, like when I was putting up these podcasts on YouTube, I was getting a lot of like strikes from YouTube saying that there was duplicate content, even though it was different.
Yeah.
Like the episodes weren't the same, obviously, but it was claiming that it was duplicate content and it would like block me from posting them up.
And not only that, but you'll see a lot of people do steal your stuff.
Sure.
I mean, you have to be very diligent on YouTube to find your own stuff, because we had an episode that our guest ripped off of Aura's website and put on his own channel. And then, like, was mad when we copyright claimed it. It's like, dude, you put the whole episode, the whole interview on your YouTube channel and put ads before it.
Yeah, and that's breaching our contract with Hulu.
Yeah. Not only is it just a dick thing to do, but you're breaching our contract with Hulu.
Yeah.
And it's like, give me a break. And like, he had fans that were like, why'd you take it down from his? It's like, well, why doesn't he give away his documentary for free if we're all about like putting stuff up there for free?
Yeah.
Or not only that, why doesn't he why
can't I post his documentary up
and take money and take ads from it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
no, that's not how it works.
And that's the thing. It's kind of like still the Wild Wild West in YouTube, and YouTube hasn't figured it out completely or easily or smoothly. And it sucks.
Yep. Another thing that I think might be a negative, depending, I don't know. It's probably not. I'm pretty picky about certain things. But to me, if I had a website, right?
Yeah.
And I was going to put up my trailer on my website.
Yeah.
Having it be a YouTube video seems less professional to me than having literally anything else.
Yeah.
Just because, I don't know. Again, when I think of YouTube, I think of cat videos and people ducking soccer balls into trash cans.
Yeah.
Not like feature films or like short films or whatever. So seeing just even like the red little player and like the YouTube stuff, like it's not going to deter me from watching it, but I just feel like for me, being a picky person, if I was making my website, I would want a video on a different platform.
Yeah.
Plus, like you said, compression kind of sucks. There's other platforms like Vimeo that have slightly better compression, so it seems a little bit better.
And
or Wistia.
And
or
like after
ones.
they're done with a video that you put on your website, it goes suggested cat videos or guys dunking soccer balls into trash cans.
Yeah. And you can kind of get rid of it sometimes. But yeah, I mean, and then also, I don't know, there's just like the ability to like rebrand in different things where it's like, oh, okay, it'll have like a little watermark that is my production company logo on like Vimeo, but it won't. Or I can like change the colors of the player to match my website, which is nice. Like little stuff like that, I think just makes it seem more professional on a website.
Now, don't get us wrong, because it's easy for us to sit here and be like, yeah, I mean, like Vimeo's so much better. We pay for Vimeo Pro. Yeah. So it may not be something that you can pay for, and we totally get that. We're just saying that
I think there's free versions of Vimeo.
Yeah, but I don't know if they have all the options. I think they want you to pay.
Yeah, probably.
I remember because an actor friend of mine didn't have internet for a little bit. His actor friend needed to upload a audition, so they came to my place, and I was like, oh, I guess his drive was full. It's Google Drive, and he had to send like a link. Yeah. I was like, well, just throw it on Vimeo, and then allow people to download it. and he was looking at it in French, so I had no idea what it said, and the download button was blurred out because you have to have Pro. So stuff like that they want you to pay, and that's how they do it. They give you
Extra
they show you features that you have to pay to get. And YouTube, while it's annoying and all that, it still is free. And so, yeah, it may be annoying to have the YouTube watermark or suggested videos that aren't yours after the video, but we want to tell you that if you're trying to say no budget to low budget, sometimes YouTube's the best option because you can't pay for Vimeo or the other ones.
Yeah.
And at the same time, if you think you're going to get rich off of YouTube, good luck. It does not make that much money. You not only have to have tons of views, you have to have comments, you have to have interactions before your videos start blowing up to the point where you can make a lot of money. I mean, you talk about like the big YouTubers like Ryan Toys Review.
Yeah.
They get millions upon millions upon millions of views per video, and they put out so many videos a week that they're in a volume business.
It's 100% a volume business, and I mean, even if you were to work for a company that's making YouTube videos, you would see that it's a volume business. I think with the monetization, I mean, what we found out is even when you have said celebrities involved in your projects, it doesn't necessarily equate to millions of views.
We could be a testament to that with Larry's channel.
Yeah. So it really comes down to a lot of different things. So I think, if that's your reasoning, like, oh, I will put it on YouTube, it's going to be easier for people to find, I'll get way more people to watch it. Not necessarily.
No.
You could easily put it up on YouTube and get hundreds of people to see it. You could easily put it up on Vimeo and get hundreds of people to see it. It's not about the platform.
Yeah, it all depends on how you are sending people to it. Like, that's what's most important.
Yeah.
And like Alex said, you're competing with cat videos and guys dunking
soccer balls into trash cans.
Soccer balls into trash cans.
Not only are you competing with them, but I would say you're putting yourself on the same playing field as them.
Yeah.
Or level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
That's what bugs me about it is like I am wanting to make like films, right?
Yeah.
That are highly crafted and have like cinematography and music scores that are purposefully, put in. And then like next to your video on the right-hand bar is like a video of like a dude just yelling at the camera about sporks. And that's what you're on the same. It's like this,
To be fair, I did ask Alex today about something I wanted to buy, and he sent me a YouTube clip of a guy reviewing what I said. So,
that's why I think to me, it's like a perfect place for informative videos.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
It's a great place for, dumb entertainment. Like, guys dunking soccer balls in trash cans.
I just don't want anybody to think that, like, because there's so many people making money off of YouTube and getting so much exposure, that unless you're doing something like a vlog or, one of those trendy things like playing video games and screaming at the camera when you get scared, YouTube isn't necessarily the best avenue to showcase your talents as a filmmaker, as a serious filmmaker.
I'd like to just throw out there. Aside from web series, let's take web series out of the equation.
Okay, web series are out of the equation. So E equals MC minus W.
Aside from
S.
Aside from the few filmmakers who have quote unquote been discovered.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if anybody's been discovered off. Yeah,
let's say like Neil Blomkamp or something.
Yeah,
who put up like a short film or whatever.
What about
or
that
like
Mortal
the Lights
Kombat
Out
one?
Guy. That's a web series.
No, it wasn't. It was just that one teaser trailer where they didn't do the whole thing.
They turned it into a series.
Did they?
Yeah,
and something else like.
Machinima.
Which speaking of like putting cinematic stuff, Machinima closed.
Yeah.
Like there you go. There's your thing right there. They can't make money doing cinematic stuff on. But go ahead, continue. Sorry.
Well, I'm saying like aside from people that got discovered because of one-off things, name like YouTube successful filmmakers. They're all the informative guys that like talk about how to make films. Like that's who they are.
Steven Spielberg.
Yep.
Francis Ford Coppola, obviously. Big YouTuber.
Yeah, he's got his wine channel.
Yeah. Touche. I mean, the biggest one of all, Stanley Kubrick, who did photography and YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Before he died, before the creation of YouTube. Yeah, he was huge.
Totally.
Huge
he
on
was
YouTube.
Huge.
Yeah.
He was a volume guy, though, too. Yeah. He made 2001 videos.
Boo. Boo. Screw you. That was bad. I'm not even going to give you any credit for that shit. But yeah, I mean, like...
But, like, if you think about, like, YouTube famous filmmakers, right?
Yeah.
You got maybe, like, Freddie Wong, who's...
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's... I don't know if that qualifies. I mean, it does because he's a filmmaker.
Yeah.
But his YouTube videos are about, like, video games, and they're about, like...
They're
how to make special effects and stuff like that. So it's like, is that the same thing? I don't know. It's like, to me, they're two totally different things. It's
funny because the biggest names on there, I haven't seen any movies from them. Like Casey Neistat. Is he...
He's a vlogger.
Yeah, but doesn't he do movies now?
No, I don't know. Does he?
I don't know.
Then there's like...
It says he's a filmmaker.
Who's that Parker Walbeck guy? Who's that guy?
No, I don't know.
I think he makes freelance something. I don't know. But anyway, again, it's like he's a filmmaker who is teaching people how to
Same
make
with
films.
Ryan Connolly.
Ryan Connolly, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like, he keeps saying he makes shorts. Haven't really seen anything that he does.
I've seen his shorts and stuff.
Yeah,
on
but I
his
haven't.
YouTube channel, but
I haven't seen. I haven't seen a feature-length film from him or anything like that. And
you haven't heard of any like outside success aside from like being on YouTube, right?
It's like him saying like, "Hey, YouTubers, my fans, I'm making this."
Right.
It's him making it on his own. I don't think he's been signed to a deal where it's like, now we want to hire you to do a feature film.
Right.
So it's hard.
So anyway, let's talk about some alternatives. We also we've already mentioned some of them.
Yep. I mean,
but let's
Vimeo.
first talk about hosting alternatives.
Yes.
Because this comes down to what I'm talking about here, like the difference between hosting and distribution.
Yeah. Because people want to look at YouTube as both a hosting and a distribution platform.
Yeah, and it can.
It can be.
I don't know, but not really.
Not really. Vimeo is a good hosting one. We use that a lot. All of our videos on our websites are real, stuff like that. Promo videos that we do for clients. We do it on Vimeo. We do it through Vimeo. It's more professional.
It is. They also have features specifically geared towards people like us because you can send off videos for client review. And they can add in notes and stuff like that on like a special review page.
And they
where
do.
There's like no other videos shown. It's not like sending people to YouTube where it's like just garbage all around. And it's like a blank page with your video and that's it.
And that's a positive and negative of Vimeo. It is not a social platform like YouTube.
It is. It's not highly utilized, I would say. But you can like comment and...
Yeah, but it's not jammed down your throat. It's like, it's not like, its main purpose is not to be like, push you to the next video and get you to have all these followers and subscribers. No. It's a place for you to showcase your talent and host, features and web series and a little more cinematic stuff. Yeah. And so we use Vimeo a lot. Love Vimeo. The compression is so much better than YouTube. Yeah. Vimeo's a great option.
Then there's Wistia, which is like Vimeo's more expensive, but not really any more like impressive cousin.
Yeah.
I think a lot of corporations use Wistia.
I don't think I've ever hosted anything on Wistia.
It's weirdly expensive. Then there's Amazon S3, which is just your no frills.
Amazon S3, you wouldn't even know if it's hosted on Amazon S3.
Yeah, because it needs like a container, really.
Yeah, like Amazon. Netflix, all their streaming and hosting is on Amazon S3.
Right.
It is just a bare bones hosting, allow you to have access to it through whatever player you create, kind of thing. Aura hosts all their videos on their site on Amazon S3. Very dependable. Can expand easily as you need more space. That's kind of like the creme de la creme. If you are, if you're doing your own distribution platform, you have 5 videos, and me and Alex are thinking about doing this at one point, Amazon S3 is the way you go.
Yeah, and you pay based on bandwidth, right?
Yep.
Bandwidth usage.
Yep.
Then that's just for hosting. Like you literally like post it up and it hosts your video for you to do with whatever you please. Then there's distribution. And again, we're mentioning Vimeo because Vimeo has Vimeo on demand. Mm-hmm. They have Vimeo OTT, which is like the ability for you to create your own sort of streaming platform.
Channel, kind of,
and you can monetize those. You can set the price. I think Vimeo on demand, Vimeo takes 10%.
That's not bad.
And Vimeo OTT, I think they have like a little bit more complicated pricing structure, but it's based on subscriptions. So there's those two options. Then you got iTunes. You can just put up your film on iTunes through like an aggregator.
They'll take a cut, but
I think they take 50%.
Yeah,
and then
it's pretty ridiculous.
Amazon Prime Video Direct, again, same thing. You can put that up. You can put a video. You can put a whole series up if you want on Amazon. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you knew that, guys. You can just stick it there.
Yeah, Amazon just wants content because they're just gonna take a cut of it.
They take 50% too, I think.
Yeah.
Then you got things like Seed and Spark, which is way more geared towards like indie filmmakers and probably only seen by other indie filmmakers.
Yeah, that is Seed and Spark. Their main bread and butter is funding projects, but they
have launched their own platform. I paid to check it out once because I wanted to see what it was like. Because what's interesting is like when you finance your film through Seed and Spark, they also give you the option to distribute on Seed and Spark.
Yeah.
And they claim that it's way more transparent. It's like geared towards filmmakers, so you can actually see where the money is going and what's coming in and all that kind of stuff and how it's coming in and get a little bit more data than you would if it was on like Netflix or whatever, right? Which you would get no data.
Yeah, none at all.
So that is interesting, and I what's really interesting about it is it's like a slider of like pay what you want starting at like $2 a month. Mm-hmm. So I tried it. It's interesting, you get like if you're interested in like indie films and short films and stuff. But it's definitely like I can't imagine paying who the audience is for this, like other than other filmmakers.
Yeah, because not many people outside of other filmmakers know Seed and Spark.
Yeah, or care to watch like my short film.
I'd watch your short film.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
You can see it on Seed and Spark.
You have to pay though.
Then there's Fandor, which is another independent film geared streaming platform. And you can submit to that too. It's a little bit more like it's not like Vimeo where you can just upload it. You have to submit it to an email address, send them like a copy, probably on Vimeo, and then they can accept it or not. But there's no fee to submit. There's nothing. You don't have to pay for like an aggregator.
I mean, they have some good things on there. They have Kiss Kiss Finger Bang with Anton Yelchin.
Nice.
So they have some good things on Fandor. I think they're trying to expand their library so it's a better place for people to go. But they don't really have any big names yet. But it's one of those things where Netflix didn't really have many people talking about their original content until it started winning awards and getting more and more popular. So I think their first original movie was that one with Jason Segel where the scientists discovered that there is an afterlife, so people just started killing themselves.
Oh, that was the first Netflix original movie?
I believe that was the first Netflix original movie. Let me see.
Interesting.
Let me see if I got it. Let me get it here. 2014. Oh, no. My apology. I thought that doesn't make sense. It's saying the sequel to Country Tiger Hidden Dragon was the first original.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I didn't think so.
I think that's true. But even that, it's like, what are they calling? Like, that's the first one that they bought and called an original? Because I don't think they went out and, like, actually...
That's why the one I thought that it was, the first one they funded. Was I thought it was that Jason Segel one, but who knows? I could be wrong. But yeah, I mean, Fandor's got some cool movies. I don't think, again, it's kind of hard because it says for movie lovers, so I don't think the general public knows about Fandor.
Yeah. So again, it's like, what's the goal? Is it to
get in front of as many eyeballs as possible?
Yeah. Or is it to find a specific audience? Because again, like, if you make a horror film, you might want to put it on Shudder.
Yeah.
And, like, there's a lot of horror, like, specifically horror fans watching Shudder.
But, I mean, iTunes might be the most general one that you could put it on that.
Yeah, like, which is better? I don't know.
Yeah. It's hard to say. I guess it's really dependent on each project and what your end goal is. But I think it's very clear, hopefully, to everyone, that it is not, that YouTube's just really not,
it's not like the golden child of like platforms like some people think.
For filmmakers especially. Like maybe it is if you're a vlogger or if you want to, make a web series or something like that or host something for free just to test out like a new short you're doing. But it's definitely not the end all be all for filmmakers because it just has so many limitations and it's just so broad, as you said.
Yeah.
I can't even remember the numbers of how many minutes of video are uploaded to YouTube every second.
It's pretty crazy. And also I think the requirement, the things that are required of you to become like a successful YouTuber, it's a lot. I mean, people like the guys that play video games, right? Mm-hmm. They're doing that all the time.
All the time.
They're putting up multiple videos a day to try to like stay on top. It's like it becomes this thing, this monster that you have to feed all the time. And so then you're just doing that and you're not making the movies that you want to make.
I think when we had Markiplier on, and I think he made $17 million last year.
Yes.
He says he streams every day. Like he just puts up a video every day. That's exhausting.
That's crazy. And thinking about, like, if you're thinking, oh, well, I'm going to do it as a filmmaker, but I'm not going to do vlogs and stuff, it's like, okay, well, how are you going to do that?
You can have one video that, when you put it up, has 20 views, and that's not going to get anywhere in a search or an algorithm that you're hoping will get you discovered.
Yeah.
At all. And maybe somebody will stumble upon it. Maybe, but for the most part, it's going to get lost in the shuffle of guys slam dunking soccer balls in 2 garbage cans.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of them.
I gotta actually, when we're done here, look to see how many there are and see if there's anybody. If not, we are cornering that market.
Yeah, we are.
Just so many different angles of a guy slam dunking a soccer ball into a
supercuts. We're gonna do slow motion
people
videos.
Getting haircuts. No, different supercuts. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, don't look at YouTube as if it's not on YouTube, you're screwed, or if it doesn't get to play on YouTube, you're screwed. Because, in all honesty, for filmmakers, YouTube is not that great.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we successfully bashed YouTube for long enough.
Speaking of, we have our sponsorship section now. This episode is sponsored by YouTube.
Oh, shit. Okay, next. So what's cool, Alex? What's cool? Go ahead. You start us off.
All right. Let's see. Red Giant Universe 3.0.
Love-hate relationship with the Red Giant.
I know, me too. Okay, so I like Red Giant stuff.
Yep.
Particularly they're like particular. And I like some of their compositing tools, like Primat Keyer is pretty nice. I mean, if you... Colorista's good if you want to do some coloring. But it's really expensive, and like the bundles and stuff, you can't... Yeah. It's like you buy it for a year, and then you have to upgrade, and like it's like the old... What I would say is like the old style of like software purchasing, where it's like... You buy it for a really high price, and then you have to spend a little bit less every year to upgrade it.
Yep.
I hate that.
I know.
I hate that.
I know.
I want them to move it to a subscription model like Adobe CC.
Yeah.
I would pay, a certain amount. I don't know what that amount would be.
Still up for a decision on that one.
I
gotcha.
I'd pay some for, especially like if they broke it down into bundles where like, okay, you pay like $5 a month per bundle. And it's like you can pick and choose which ones you want.
Yeah.
Fine.
Especially because, I would even love to pick and choose each individual program in the bundle.
That'd be awesome. Create your own bundle.
Yeah, create your own bundle because there's some in the shooter series I don't use. There's some, especially with I think
like
it was like
Pluralize. Why do they even have that?
Why do they still have Pluralize? And why do they have 4K like?
Yeah. What is that?
Instant 4K? Yeah.
I don't know.
Dumb.
Interesting. But Red Giant Universe 3.0. Red Giant Universe is their only subscription model.
The Universe. Yep.
Is their only subscription model, like it's not even like a software plugin. It's just like a jumble of things.
Yeah. Jumble of things.
They have like transitions. They have effects, like you can make like a VHS type effect, or like different retro type things, like different looks.
Yep.
Anyway, they just updated it, added a bunch of new stuff, and it released version 3.0.
Ooh.
So now it includes a lot more things like text generation effects, like hacker text styles,
what?
Screen text, type-on type stuff.
What?
Which, all right, sure. Having the ability to do some of that right in like Premiere could be handy.
I feel Universe is more geared towards people who do like client work.
Probably.
Like all that text, like animated text and all that. You're not going to do most of that in a movie.
Right.
That's just me, though. Maybe other people want to.
That's probably true.
Don't listen to me.
But you could use like the VHS effects to do something like Dude Bro Party Massacre 3.
That is damn right.
But anyway, it's $30 a month for Red Giant Universe, which to me it's like overpriced for what it is. I would pay $30 a month for their entire.
I would, yeah. Because how much is Adobe right now? Where are we at? 49?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I use that all the time.
Yeah.
And so to have them come in and say, "Oh yeah, guess what? This is $30 just for these little add-ons." I'd be like, "No, thank you. We're good."
Yeah. But if you give me the whole thing,
thing, yeah, give it to me. All right.
That.
Yep. All right. I got LumaFusion. So they have touted forever that the iPad Pro can replace your laptop, but it never really could edit that well. Well, in comes LumaFusion, which is an editing program for the iPad Pro. What? The problem with the iPad Pro is that it's really hard to get peripherals connected to it. But this one gentleman that was talking about the LumaFusion was interviewed for it. He uses a My Passport wireless kind of thing. It has an SD card reader in it. It also will send files wirelessly that you can hook up to. It's like a hub that doesn't that connects via Bluetooth.
Interesting.
And
I wonder how reliable that is.
Yeah, that's true.
Seems interesting though.
I don't trust anything without wires.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
not with my important
documents
that I'm transferring.
My 4K footage I'm trying to transfer onto an iPad Pro.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you have an iPad Pro and you're trying to ditch that laptop, look at LumaFusion. It's your non-linear editor kind of thing, and yeah,
cool. I kind of is like an Adobe Edge competitor, maybe.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. It's definitely. I do not have an iPad Pro. I have no desire to get one, so I couldn't tell you firsthand how it is. But it looks like a pretty standard editor.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Oh, there is a new hot swap on the market. Probably the first one in like a decade.
I know that's not Anton Bauer.
Yeah. Well, it does have gold mount options,
but
it's made by Core SWX, which makes a lot of those hypercore batteries and whatnot. And for those of you who don't know, a hot swap or a shark fin adapter is an adapter that allows you to put 2 batteries on at once, and then theoretically you can use it for longer runtime, obviously because there's 2 batteries. But you could also pull one battery off, put a new one on without shutting down
Just
the
keep
camera.
it running. Keep it running forever. Very cool.
That's cool. And so this particular one was made specifically for kind of like the lower profile batteries.
Oh.
To keep it all nice and tight on the camera system so it's not sticking out all funny.
Interesting. Okay.
So really it's the same deal, same business, but with a little bit more
pizzazz.
A
Okay,
little bit
I
more
like it.
sassy dazzle.
Sassy dazzle. I haven't heard of that one before. All right. Well, next on my sassy dazzle is for those who don't know or haven't poured one out for Filmstruck. Filmstruck was it was kind of like a Netflix, but for the classics.
Yep.
It was, all your good old school movies from the 50s and the 30s and all that kind of stuff. And then they just killed it. When Warner Brothers was bought by AT&T, there goes Filmstruck. Doesn't make enough money. That left. But guess what's coming, guys? Something even better. It's called the Criterion Channel.
Oh.
Criterion is the creme de la creme of movies, I would say. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Alex, they don't remaster movies, do they?
I don't know. I think they did. I thought they did restore them to like a higher quality.
Yeah, but I mean, you have Criterion of like Bottle Rocket from Wes Anderson, which doesn't need to be
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, but they're having their channel of all their movies, and it's going to be, it's going to launch April 8th. Now, if you're a charter member, you can get it for $10 a month or $90 a year. But if you do not become a charter member, which is you sign up before April 8th, it is $11 a month or $100 a year.
Yeah.
And that'll give you access to all the classic Criterion movies. Now, I always want to give you a little heads up, and I want to see if it's called, I think it's called, yes, Canopy. Now, I don't want anyone to become alarmed, but Canopy is an online, it's kind of like Filmstruck.
Okay.
Now, I don't want you to be shocked, but Canopy, with a K, is free, especially in LA, for people in LA who have a library card.
Yes.
And,
I've heard about this.
And they
don't have the entire...
No, they don't, but they have A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night, Donnie Darko, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. So they have tons of shit.
Yeah.
That you can watch, and it's all free. But granted, they don't have the entire Criterion collection.
Right.
So if you are a big fan of Criterion, get the Criterion channel.
Just to clarify here, I looked it up. The Criterion Collection is an American home video distribution company which focuses on licensing, quote, important classic and contemporary films, end quote, and selling them to film aficionados.
Oh, so probably what they probably did is they probably, back in the day, bought the rights to movies that hadn't been on DVD yet and put them on DVD.
Yeah, like really good
what
they
ones.
consider like classics and like important films,
like Breathless by Godard,
for filmmakers.
Yeah, for film nerds,
for cineasts, cinephiles.
There you go. Okay, all right. Yeah. So, the Criterion Channel coming out April 8th, but also Canopy with a K, Kanopy. And depending on where you live and what your library card is, you may be able to get that for free.
And how many books you have overdue.
Man,
you might be able
so many Playboys. What?
I didn't even know.
What do you got, Alex?
Next one is the Intelitech Pocket Canon.
Whoa, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, so it's a little LED Fresnel.
Okay.
A mini LED, they say. That is meant to be similar to like an Airy 150 or a pepper,
that's cool.
Pepper light.
Yeah.
Kind of for accenting things. You know, you can throw them up in the background to sort of create like a scallop on the wall or like an edge light or something. You know, whatever you want. They're very small. They're a single LED, you know, so it's not like an array. of LEDs. So it can be controlled more like a traditional Fresnel with barn doors and things like that. It's kind of bright. It's like 1,100 lux at 1 meter.
Not bad.
And CRI is supposed to be 97.
That's not bad at all.
You can get them in different kits with multiple lights, or you can buy one. And they have a bunch of accessories like snoots, soft boxes, different filters because it is only one color temperature. It's not a bicolor. Honeycombs and all sorts of stuff like that. They look very interesting. The real kind of the ultra interesting part about them is they retail for $190.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
That's not bad at all.
So, hey.
That's something to check out. It's got little batteries that it runs off of, right?
You can run off batteries. You can plug it in. I think it runs off Sony batteries.
Not bad.
You can actually put it on. It's like so small you could put it on a camera or you could put it on a light stand. They have a bunch of different accessories for it, like little light domes and soft boxes and things like that. You can buy them separately, or if you buy a kit, it comes with them.
Is it just bicolor?
Just single color.
Single color. Okay. Oh, yes, I see it. 5600 or 3200.
You have to choose.
Question is, and do we ask, because it doesn't really matter these days, CRI.
97. You weren't listening when I...
Oh, I didn't. I was looking at the lights.
Oh,
I was
my
like,
God.
Yeah, I know. Right.
Jeez.
I was hearing your the Lux. I was
you
like,
were hearing my smooth vibrations, but not catching what I was throwing.
Yeah, no. I was doing I was paying attention to the Lux, and I was looking at this at the site that you put up. But those look really cool. That's a lot of punch from that little light.
Yeah, it's not bad. But that's only at 1 meter.
Yeah,
but
I mean, come on. I mean,
yeah,
you have that little array that you put on top from Aperture.
$190 light.
Yeah,
don't hate it.
Yeah, I don't hate it either. I'd buy one. And finally, I have. Now, this is a near and dear to my heart. My first Stephen King book I ever read. They just released a new trailer for Pet Sematary.
Nice.
They're doing a new one. We were talking earlier today. Alex had gone and seen Serenity.
Yeah.
Jason Clarke is the dad in Pet Sematary. John Lithgow is the crazy old man that every good horror movie has.
The trailer showed before Serenity.
Oh, did it? The new one?
Mm-hmm.
The new one where he gets his Achilles cut?
I think so.
Oh.
I wasn't really paying attention.
Oh, look, he's not paying attention now.
Yeah.
But the thing that changes in this one, have you seen the original Pet Sematary?
Nope.
Have you read the book?
Nope.
Okay, never mind. You won't care. But for everyone else out there.
I'm not a nerd.
I am a nerd.
Why don't you go dust off your Goosebumps collection?
Oh, I saw them all. I'm so mad. But I do want to buy a Lego set. I miss Legos. Yeah. But this one is, for those who are diehard Pet Sematary fans and don't know, in this one, the young son doesn't die. His older sister dies and comes back. And it looks creepy as shit.
Way to ruin it.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's all in the trailer, so. Oh. Creepy cat, girl coming back from the dead. Then the rest of the dead are raised. Oh, it looks great. I'm all in for Pet Sematary.
I don't even know the story of Pet Sematary, but the trailer, to me, I have questions.
What's that?
It brings up questions.
Hit me. What is it?
The kids in the masks.
Yeah.
Why? With the drum and
they make a ritual out of it, knowing that they're kind of like almost like praying to the animal gods because the animals come back.
So the kids know about this?
Yeah, that's why they keep bringing their kid there.
But the parents don't know?
Well, the parents just moved there. They just moved there.
So those kids are just creepy, like, woods kids that come around. Yeah.
You never had creepy wood kids where you lived?
They're like from the neighbors kids?
I gotta remember the story.
Or are they like orphan children?
I gotta remember the exact story about what those kids are. I'll get back to you on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just think it's a lot of work for them to have made those masks.
Well, they're kids. What else are they going to do?
Where do they get paper mache out in the middle of the woods?
Paper's made from wood. Done.
They have to make paper first and then make paper mache.
Yeah, if you're out in the woods, you have nothing else better to do other than making paper out of wood.
Apparently
Come on.
They have A lot of drumming.
You tell me if you were out in the woods, you wouldn't make paper out of the trees?
They got a lot of drumming to do. Little drummer.
Pum, 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 pum.
Yeah. I don't know. It just
now
bothered me.
I see why Funbot hates us.
It just bothered me when, like, in the trailer. Okay, granted, it's a trailer. It's supposed to be this way. But it bothered me when they were, like, marching with their little... And then, like, on several occasions, they just, like, turn around and look straight at the camera. Like, should try to be spooky. I hate when, like, horror movies...
Are spooky and don't make sense?
It's like they just try to be spooky. You can tell that they're just trying to look cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
They're like, check out these creepy masks. You look at them now. That's what I got from that.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. It doesn't really say in the summary of Pet Sematary what the kids are, so they might be added in for the effect that you hate so much.
Good.
Perfect.
Good.
Perfect.
Well, I'll probably still see it.
Yeah, I mean, you like Jason Clarke.
I do.
I love Stephen King stories, so I'm going to definitely check it out. So I think that's going to do it for us. What do you think?
I think that's it.
And that was I'd give us a B- on this one.
Yeah, like in golf scoring terms.
Isn't that what to be?
All right, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you for joining us. You can get the show notes for this episode by visiting nobudgetfilmmaking.com/episode 40.
And don't forget to hop on over to iTunes and subscribe to our podcast. And while you are there, give us a 5-star rating if you feel so inclined, like the real Morgasmo did.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks again.
If you have any filmmaking questions, ask away in the comments section. We'll try